This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's Charts of the Day video. I thought we'd start by taking a look at some aerospace. Boeing is up today on news that the 737 MAX may return to deliveries, but thought we'd take a look at ITA and some of the other components in addition to Boeing. What we're tracking here in ITA off of the 2016 low back here in February is potentially 5 waves up completing, with the 5th wave of the 5th shown here in a blue subwave count inside that 5th wave of intermediate wave 5 that started back here in 2016, getting an ending diagonal to complete. And so that should be completing a primary wave 3 just a little bit past this 176.4% extension, and due for a larger primary wave 4 like we see still in most of the market. When we zoom in on the diagonal that this has been tracing out since the March low, that retrace, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this long drawn out diagonal as an ending diagonal here. If you count this as the third, then this easily could have been the top, but you could say this is 1 and 2 and then an ABC for the third, and then this is holding a 4th wave and attempting to get one more high up towards the 240 region for more of a 5th. It's not needed. It can certainly count as complete, but this can certainly continue to try and bounce around a little bit higher within those trend line channels. Moving on, let's take a look at Boeing, and we'll go into the zoomed view of Boeing shortly. But in the larger view, Boeing looks very, very complete into the early March 2019 high, as that intermediate wave 5 of primary degree wave 3 off the 2016 low, with 1, 2, a very extended third, a nice high expanded flat for the 4th wave, and then a 5 wave move to complete the 5th of the 5th of primary wave 3, right at that 200% extension, and then has been very lackluster since, with a strong move down and then an expanded flat for a wider B wave, and then another strong drop to possibly start as the C wave of this larger A inside that primary wave 4. When we zoom in on the Boeing chart, we can see that same expanded flat here for the B wave, and then an ABC move down as the possible wave 1 of an ending diagonal for this C of A, targeting down here. And this can be part of the corrective retrace. It looks like we might have been trying to form the top of a wave 2 and start down, but we can just move this wave 2 over here. It is able to still get up closer to 375 at this point, which is also the upper Bollinger Band. Need to see a drop under 340 to start to confirm this third of the C wave, and we're likely to get a pretty big bounce as the 4th wave again, because this is an ABC structure. It implies that the C wave down is going to be an ending diagonal. Moving on to Lockheed Martin, LMT, another one of the big aerospace names in that ITA index. This one's interesting because it still looks like it easily counts as an ABC up for a B wave at a higher high than the high that it made, which really looked like a good completed move for the primary wave 3 back in early 2018. So this one, we would be looking for a 5 wave move down in a C wave, although it is possible to count this as an extension of this 5 of primary wave 3 and then see an A, B, C move down. Or perhaps this is a WX and we still get an ABC for the Y wave that would fit with the price pattern that we expect to see from these more recent highs and most other names of an ABC to fill out the rest of this primary wave 4. But the targets in this 200 region are still ideal, and we should get a good idea with the initial move down towards 325 to 300 whether or not this is going to be tracing out an A, B, and a C in that either the Y wave or as an alt primary wave 4 from here, or 5 waves down as the C wave. Next, we have General Dynamics. General Dynamics is probably the closest of the big names to Boeing, where off of the December low, it looks like a clear ABC bounce as a B wave and a decent start to the C wave of primary wave 4, with the move into April 2018 counting easily as all of that primary wave 3 top, with the parentheses 5 from there off of the early 2016 lows. So the ideal target for that is this 130 to 120 region, maybe 132, and we should see 5 waves down inside this C wave. So this could be a wave 1 and a wave 2, or maybe this is an A and a B, and we get a C wave down to about 160, 159 region as wave 1, and then a wider wave 2, and then 3, 4, 5 in an ending diagonal, based on the structure that we've seen off of the top so far. Next, we'd like to look at Northrop Grumman, NOC. This is very similar to Lockheed that we looked at, where the price structure really looks like an ABC for a B wave, even though it's higher than the prior top back in 2018. But we know that a B wave in a larger flat pattern can be an expanded flat. So the B wave can make a nominal higher high. So ideally, similar to Lockheed, we'd be looking for 5 waves down as the C wave, still targeting the ideal 168 region. And if that is going to be an impulse, and that's starting with a possible 5 waves down as wave 1 of this wave 1, you could see a little bit more of a corrective bounce, and then 3, 4, 5, another bounce, and then 3, 4, 5 at the larger degree, and that could still complete into the end of 2020. Lastly, I want to take a look at Textron. Textron, similar to General Dynamics and Boeing, that shows significant weakness since 2018. Really looks like it might be even further ahead of most, with a 1-2 in place and trying to start the 3rd wave in this orange ending diagonal. So ideally, we're still working on just the A wave, and this can be an A, B, and maybe 1 and 2 of the C wave inside this A, and then another B and a C wave to complete that 3rd, and then a higher bounce that overlaps the top of this wave 1, and then another ABC heading towards the 30 region for Textron. We'll go ahead and end there, and I'll get this uploaded for you guys, and see you all tomorrow.